Hello and welcome to Geek Addicts, pop culture podcast, where me and my co-host realized we probably were kind of fucked up children. My name is Matt. With me is Bill Barber. How's it going, Bill?
The best part is I'm not sure which film you're talking about.
I don't think it matters, honestly.
I'm doing well. It's Sunday. I got like 4 hours of sleep because that's my life.
Yeah, I feel that.
So you at least have excuses. I don't. Oh.
Well, see, I actually don't have an excuse this week because we didn't have Francis last night, and so I don't know. Just for whatever reason, I went to bed. Well, I know why I went to bed late. It's because we were out for a while, and then when I got back, I watched one of the movies that we're talking about here, and that took until past midnight. And then for some reason, I decided to get up at 6:30 today. Can't figure it out, but for some reason, I did that. So whatever.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I got stuff done though, so I mean, I was productive at least.
That's good. I was up till like 1 a.m. on Friday night playing Peak with a bunch of friends. So
yeah,
that was a crazy time. I'm just like I'm a liability when we play that game because I'm so fucking bad at it. But,
so I have some gaming updates this week. I've beaten 2 games.
Nice.
I finally beat Earthbound, so that's finally under my belt. I've beaten another iconic RPG from back in the day, and I finally also finished my replay of Shin Budokai 2.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, there's still technically other stuff I could do on that, but I have completed the main story, so I'm counting it as a beat, even though I will probably be popping back from time to time just to fuck around.
Nice.
I'm so still try and work out a plan for an episode.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about her. Yeah, there's a lot to say about that one.
For sure.
I'm still playing Bubsy 3D. It's a game.
Is it functioning?
Sometimes.
Are you actually making progress, or is it just crashing every time you do something?
Oh no, it's still crashing. I'm making progress though, because thankfully saving works. But
that's good.
And they just announced the remaster that's coming out is going to have actual proper controls, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like that. I was so irrationally angry when I saw it. I was like, it's just...
"Damn you, Tony!"
No, we did it to ourselves. Tony was just along for the ride.
That's true. It's funny because I voted for it, but I'm not even participating this month.
Well, I think we all voted for it just because it was like we have to.
Yeah. So I didn't do too much anime watching this week because I took 2 days off of work this week because my wife's birthday was this week. I ended up taking a little bit of time off. I took her on a date to the city, which was nice. We had a good time. We went to this bookstore that was there. We each got a little something. Went out to eat at a Chinese restaurant because Chinatown was like a stone's throw away from where we were at. And let's see what else. We went to a dive bar, and this is like the fucking stereotypical dive bar.
Nice.
Smell the piss and bleach.
But
super cheap. So
yeah.
And then we went to this. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like this alternative museum. It was kind of like an interactive museum kind of thing. It was pretty cool. It was a fun little goof experience kind of thing. But no, we had a good day.
That's fun.
As far as anime goes, I finished Delicious in Dungeon. That's pretty much all I accomplished this week because I watched both the movies we're talking about today twice this week.
Nice.
So a lot of the watching time, as well as Darker Than Black, of course. I did start a new anime though yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you've heard of it. You might have seen it on Crunchyroll just because it's been advertised lately. But it's a little 6-episode series called Night of the Living Cat.
I have not seen that one.
It's literally it's like Dawn of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead. Like it's a zombie movie, but instead of zombies, it's cats. And if you make contact, if you make like skin to fur contact with a cat, you'll turn into a cat. So it's literally played like a zombie movie, but it's cats.
Huh.
It's interesting. It is interesting. And it's funny because the main character like loves cats, so he's like hating life. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mostly did I didn't make any progress on My Hero just because I did not have any time to actually get invested. I'll probably watch later today. But I did catch up on all the ongoings. So the Sakamoto Days, the
oh yeah,
Vending Machine, Don to Don. I will say this week Sakamoto Days was kind of meh. Not a lot happened. Just some more.
I mean, important plot thing has happened, but like it wasn't
the thing.
Like, nothing monumental happened.
See, my perspective is I've read ahead in the manga, so I know what's coming up, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, we're getting there. It's literally a case where I'm just like, yeah, okay. Sakamoto Days is a very hot and cold manga. Like it goes through like periods where it's very good, and then periods where it's kind of like whatever. So
yeah,
it's typical shonen. The Vending Machine show, I will admit, the most recent episode, stuff happened. It was somewhat better. Still not amazing, but not like
I haven't watched the newest one yet.
It felt like the original season in a lot of ways. Like stuff. I still hate that he can talk, but they kind of have this new like. The running joke now is that only is her name like Labis or Labris, the blonde girl?
Oh, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Either way, like the Lamas. Yep. The running joke is that he can talk now, but like no one can understand him except for her. So she's kind of just like his translator. Which is kind of funny. I still don't like that he can talk at all, but it's a whatever thing.
Yeah. I mean, at least like with like the whole like broken like copy paste kind of situation that he's doing with it. At least there's like room for more comedic moments with that. But I it does kind of sour the joke a little bit. For sure.
Yeah. I will admit the guy, like the foot guy, is kind of making this funny for some reason.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah,
I guess I'll see when I watch the new episode.
He's sticking around. That's all I'll say.
Don
was pretty good still.
Yeah, I was gonna say since the last time we recorded, we watched 2 Don episodes. We're caught up now. And
what'd you think of the fucking?
I gotta say,
power
Exorcism was fucking amazing. I love.
They got the singer from Dragon Force for that.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's Mark Hudson.
That's not fucking awesome.
For people that haven't followed Dragon Force, it's not the original singer. It's not ZP Thart. It's the current singer. But that's still fucking kind of cool.
It's still pretty fucking metal, and I love it. And I also love that he was dressed in Saiyan armor.
Yeah, I was just like because I had seen that because I follow a metal news site every now and then, and I saw this thing. It was like Mark Hudson joins Netflix TV series Don to Don. I'm like, that is a fucking broken ass like title. But then I watched the episode and I was like, oh, this is kind of metal. I like it.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It's like, oh, this is just kind of our side gig.
Yeah. And then
no, I absolutely loved that episode. It was I love the thing that they're doing right now with GG. Like it's incredibly entertaining, and it's giving like all the other characters motivation to progress themselves. So that's also very good.
I'm not gonna lie. The scene. Did you watch the most recent episode?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. The scene where he has his freak out again and Momo gets her shirt ripped open. I was like, can we like end this joke, please? Like it's starting to get very old.
Well, at least in this particular case, it wasn't like it wasn't one of those kinds of scenes. It was just literally.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
He just grabbed her shirt and it ripped. Like
I know. It just I get it. The authors got kind of a thing for that, but it's like I don't know. I'm getting a little tired of the Momo assault jokes.
The joke though with the fucking maid cafe though, like that was.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. Like, I like when it's like zany and not like on that edge of being too far. Like this,
Mhm.
Don has that weird is in like a weird place where it's constantly on that edge sometimes, and
Yeah.
sometimes I think it goes a little too far. But
No,
um,
I agree with you, but I am immensely enjoying this season, like
mm,
far and above where I was at with the first season.
oh yeah, no, season 2 is definitely catching me more. Still not enough for me to say it's like a favorite by any means, but significantly. I'm
It's
not
keeping me
bored.
hooked. It's
Yeah,
keeping me hooked. Yeah,
I'm actually enjoying watching it week to week. I didn't watch the first season week to week, so I think that might also have something to do with it. But
it could be. It could be.
Kaiju
Um.
number 8. I don't know if you've seen the new episodes of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Were you prepared?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't expect because he keeps saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna claim the kaiju power. I'm gonna claim the kaiju power." So obviously, like, what it wants everybody to assume is that he wants Kafka's power, but no, he wanted the was it kaiju number 2 weapon,
Yeah,
but ultimately ended up absorbing like Daddy Shinomiya as well. So now he just kind of takes the form of Daddy Shinomiya.
yeah, and it was dark and like holy shit.
All right, so I don't want like spoilers, but like, is kaiju number 9 like? Is he gonna be like the villain for a while?
Yeah, he's kind of the
Yeah.
villain. Yes.
All right, fine. I don't know. I just something about. I mean, his new like jacked up design. It is definitely cooler, but like, I don't know, fucking mushroom head, really? Like
Sure.
going back to season 1 too. I was just like, I hope this character's stick around, and then it's just like, oh no, now he's just like the villain. Like, great. I like everything
Um,
about the series except for his design.
I will say he is the villain, but there is so much shit that's about to happen, like from here to
Oh, I'm sure.
where I currently am with the manga, that it's worth the ride because there was a big reveal at the end of the most recent episode that's going to be a big plot thing pretty soon.
Hmm. And I'm still immensely enjoying Doctor Stone. Doctor
Alex
Stone
has been
is
saying that.
very fun. Is she watching week to week, or is she waiting for the this part to end?
I think she finally broke, and she's been watching week to week because she broke with Kaiju for sure because she couldn't wait.
Well,
Um,
she read ahead on that anyway, didn't she?
well, she actually I know more on Kaiju than she does, but
Hmm. Yeah, I've also been continuing my read of Jujutsu Kaisen. I just
mm,
finished volume 14, which is the furthest one I have at the moment. I can get more. It's just that's what I have at the moment.
yeah. Me and
Um,
Alex actually
which I
got into
think.
into a bit of a heated, not heated, but like a bit of an argument because we did our top 25 recently, and
Oh, you did?
yeah, and
Look forward to that one.
I had mentioned how Jujutsu wasn't really doing it for me, because it fell off my
It's just
list
too
entirely.
confusing. It's just too confusing. Like
It
it's an enjoyable show. It's fun, but it's so even the author's confused. Like it's
Yeah,
like literally when you're reading the manga, like there's like in between chapter bits where he's just like, I don't know, I'm just kind of making shit up as I go. Like I don't even understand it. Like and then, okay, that makes sense why I'm so fucking confused all the time.
I think my comment was I just found it too bleak and I stopped caring. Also, it's taking way too long for the anime, so there's a whole lot of things there. Um,
Yeah, it's fair.
I think it's just a combination of a lot of things. Like I like the first half of the of season 2 better than the second half, and the second half just got so depressing because it was literally every significant character was just getting offed left and right.
Yeah. I mean, there's still plenty left. And I mean, I haven't read past yet, so I don't know, but they were kind of leaving it ambiguous to whether or not, what's the name? Um,
So I know what happened, so I won't say anything. But
okay. I was going to say, because they do leave it kind of ambiguous at the end of that season. But right now, where I am in the manga, I left off, um, she actually just got tapped.
yeah.
Like, that's literally the last thing I saw. And then it was like starting to go into her backstory. And then that's the furthest I've gotten in the manga. So.
Hmm.
I still haven't quite finished the Shibuya arc in the manga, but I'm getting there.
Hmm. Oh, nice. Um, Also, Dress Up Darling. That's been another one. There was puppets in the most recent episode. And I was like, I this is different.
Oh god. Oh yeah, I was just doing like a cross-dressing thing right now. Like she's doing a cross-dress cosplay for like the school festival or something.
Yes. Yep. And there's a whole there's
I
so
love
much
how,
going
like,
on in that show.
I was gonna say, like, I love how like the whole like he shows up to like help with like the um whatever thing that their class was doing, and they're all like looking at him like, "What are you doing here? Go make the costume!" Like, and like that was like so assumed to me, like the whole time he's like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do this one for you because I have to help with this and that." Like, just talk to the teacher, be like, "Look, I make her costumes. I have to do that. I'm on team fucking beauty contest. Like, what do you want from me? That's where my abilities shine. Like, that's where I should be."
I think he might be the most dense main protagonist in a long time, though, because
Yeah.
Marin's not being subtle, and he's still just sitting here going like, "Oh, gee, these
Yeah.
girls are
Well, I
my
mean,
friends."
he was pretty much like an extreme isolationist before he met her. So, and for a very long time. So,
Fair. It's just like some
he
of
has
these.
he has no concept of social cues or anything like that. So,
Yeah. Uh. Yeah.
yep. Yep.
I don't think I've watched anything else. I've been reading the Kimi ni Todoke manga. That's been my
Oh yeah.
yeah, my Saturday night was great. I was reading Kimi ni Todoke, watching a NASCAR race, and drinking a Busch Light. That's how I spend my Saturday
That's the
nights
dream.
now.
That's the dream.
I'm like, this is just peak adulthood right here.
Yeah. So we did an episode on it recently, and just the coincidence of it I find funny. But I got an update on the new Narnia series,
Oh yeah.
as
That's the
apparently
thing.
it's still happening. It's still happening. And I'm not made an interesting casting choice for
Yeah.
Aslan. Meryl Streep.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
I mean, I'm not gonna lay judgment down, but interesting choice. Following up Liam Neeson,
And
a very interesting choice.
even the British guy from the BBC one.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes. But I am pleased to hear that it's still happening, and they are in fact starting with The Magician's Nephew. So
Oh, nice.
I am looking forward to it. I am definitely looking forward to it.
That is a choice. I'm curious how they're going to do it.
Yeah, same. I mean, in a way, I can kind of see why, but at the same time, it's like I just don't know how you're gonna follow Liam Neeson with Meryl Streep of all people.
It's to me, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, you have this kind of voice in your head, and then you hear it, and you go, "Huh." You just don't know how to. You're gonna have to hear it because it just
Yeah,
doesn't.
especially since Aslan is supposed to be a stand-in for Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm not
yeah,
gonna make judgments until I see it, but I guess we'll
it could
see.
be good. That is one of those ones though that you just hear it, and your brain just kind of goes, "Oh," and you just
Yeah,
don't know what to
pretty much.
say.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I mean, we'll see what happens whenever that comes around. I mean, it's been in production for fucking the better part of a decade at this point, so it better be good.
See, it's one of those
Better not
things
be
where
one of
it's
those
like
Cowboy Bebop deals where it gets canceled the second it comes out.
Cowboy Bebop's the annoying one because apparently that wasn't even bad. It just the fans didn't give it a shot. Um, See, for me, it's like I always think of like the comparisons. Like you can either have like your One Pieces, or you can have your avatars, and it's just kind of
Hmm.
like. Granted, I dislike the Avatar more than most people apparently. So
Well, I haven't watched it yet, so it's we'll learn my feelings about it once we actually get around to doing that.
yeah,
Because I think it's pretty much I think we pretty much agreed that we're going to be handling the live action anime series in the same way that we're doing Darker Than Black and such. So
Yeah, with probably the exception being One Piece, but that's for other reasons.
Well,
Just because.
as I said, I think if we do episode by episode together, I think you could do a full episode on season 1 with Alex after the fact. I think that would be fine. But we can talk to her about that on the side.
Yeah, we'll see.
And she can always join up for like episodes that she finds particularly enjoyable. So we'll figure that out. Either way, we're starting with Yu Hakusho, I think. So
yeah, that one's gonna be easier. So,
but yeah, I think we should probably get in with our Untitled Darker Than Black segment.
Yes. I lost the music pretty quick. There it is. So these were this one's gonna be harder for me. I'm not gonna lie.
What's that?
The plot on these
Any
two
particular
episodes,
reason? Or?
I felt the plot was harder to follow on these two ones.
That's fair. Well, I mean, when you're in the gate, you know, shit's gonna get weird.
Yeah, it felt like I felt like I didn't. The episodes ended, and I wasn't really sure what happened. I was just kind of like, huh. I kind of just was like, I had to sit and think.
Yeah. The title for these episodes is When One Takes Back What Was Lost Within the Wall. And this is the first, I feel like the first episode we've had in a while where we do kind of put a lot of focus on Hay. Like we do have some new characters in these episodes, and we do spend plenty of time with them. But I definitely feel like these are definitely Hay episodes for sure. So essentially, like his job of the week, I guess, this time is he's working as a janitor at like a research center that's technically inside the gate or so close that it might as well be. And well, the one of the first things we see is he is like on the bus, like going in, and this chick is talking to him about like, oh, like this and that, like, you know, looking forward to this. This is gonna be great. And then like the next time we see her, she's like losing her fucking mind, like talking to people who aren't there, and like, yeah. So apparently, when you work in this close proximity to the gate, apparently it fucks with some people's minds. Like people will hallucinate, they'll see random shit, they'll just kind of go batty, for lack of a better word. But apparently the purpose for Hay being here, we actually get like a clear goal for him for once. He is trying to get a meteor fragment that was discovered there that apparently we don't know what all its purpose is, like what it's for, but we do know that it can power up a contractor's abilities, makes them stronger. So that at least on its own is kind of ridiculous. To say like, if say, I don't know, Fire Singing Girl got a hold of that, it could be bad.
Yeah.
And we also get a couple other characters in these episodes. We get Nick, who's a researcher there, and Mina, who's also a researcher, but like one like lower on the totem pole. Like she's kind of just like barely managed to get in there, and it's kind of like her dream to be, you know, working on that stuff. But she is working for the same syndicate that Hay is, and that's kind of how she got in there.
Okay.
And so they're like constantly meeting up. Like they're definitely meeting up way more often throughout these episodes than they should be. They're really like that first initial meeting was really the only one that kind of had to happen, where like she passed him the note about like, oh, this is the deal, this is our goal, this is what we're doing. But she clearly kind of gets a thing for him in these episodes because she just can't fucking keep her nose out of anything.
Yeah. And Hay's kind of just uninterested. He's himself, basically.
Yeah, he's good. He's all set. Like, and he even keeps telling her, like, dude, you need to back the fuck off. Like, what are you doing? Like, you've already done what you needed to do for this job. Like, stay out of it.
You know what I think it might be? Why these ones felt a little off to me? I think it might be because the last two pairs we had were very serialized, like following
Mhm.
different cast people, and then now we're
Yeah.
kind of jumping back into, oh yeah, there was a plot that we were following.
Yeah. And we do get a little bit more with that because we get um, little snippets of Hayes' sister. She's not actually there, but we do get little snippets of her. Like we got one flashback scene. We got a couple instances of him hallucinating her. And so like he meets this guy Nick, who's like he's like he loves watching the stars. He used to work at NASA and shit. And he like brings Hay up to the roof, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna grow stargaze." And he's like, "Okay, well, we don't really have like actual stars anymore." And apparently, it's just like a thing because there's like a rumor or like a superstition or something that like you could regain what you lose like by being in the gate. Like something about the gate like warps reality, and you can get whatever your desires are essentially. And apparently, if you look real hard, you can see the real stars.
Yeah.
And that was like a whole like bonding moment for them, which is kind of nice. Oh, he's played by Eric Bale, by the way, which
Yeah, I noticed that right away. A lot of classic funny talent is in this.
Yeah. And then at one point, Crazy Girl from the bus, like she's like messing with a bunch of telescopes at one point, and then like a shadow appears over her and she dies, and it's very obviously electricity that's killing her. So
yeah, I saw that. I was like, huh.
I don't know if we're supposed to think that it was Hay, but I mean the fact that there was clearly a contractor price being paid like kind of automatically removes him from that.
Yeah, I was very confused there because we still don't know Hayes' price, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, like that happens. There's like a big investigation about it. And ultimately, like Hay is questioned because like he talked to Crazy Girl like twice. So apparently that made him a suspect.
Yeah. And it's just so funny how he just ends up in everything no matter what.
It just happened to be here. It's just how it goes. And like this is the point where Mina just keeps sticking her nose in everything because she at one point she meets up with him to talk, and she's like, "Oh, did you kill him?" Like blah blah blah, and he's like, "No, I didn't kill him. Why do you care? What are you doing here?" Like basically like it's like, "All right, fuck this, I'm out." And he leaves, or no, she leaves, and like his janitor supervisor like sees her come out. And she's like, "Oh, well, he found the body. I'm going to try to mine some information from him." And then we get like a really weird scene where the supervisor guy sits down at Hayes' table at lunch. And he's like bragging that the girl wanted to talk to him instead of Hay. It's really bizarre. And she looks super uncomfortable about it, too.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Oh, yeah, you got to pay attention to a girl or, they'll look for it elsewhere." I don't know. It was just super weird, super awkward.
Yeah. That's a thing that this show does every now and then.
Yeah. Not like egregiously, but yeah, it does play with it a little bit.
I think that's why it sticks out, because when it happens, it's like, yeah. Like you just don't know how to think about it.
Oh, the janitor guy was played by Kyle Hebert as well, so.
Yeah. Go Han.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, like ultimately they end up doing essentially like another like research like mission essentially, and they send a bunch of people into the gate, Nick included, and everyone but Nick is killed. I wonder what happened.
Yeah. Sure, we'll find out at some point.
Yeah. Well, at one point, the security guy who was questioning Hay earlier is following Nick, and Hay is following him, and it's just like this, just weird situation where we have like multiple confrontations, and yeah. So the security guy like stops and is like, what are you doing? Blah blah blah, and Nick kills him, and I don't know if it was you. So the price he pays for his power is he has to take off his victim's shoes and put them upside down on the floor.
Yeah.
Did it? I gotta say, did it bother you when he took off the security guy's boots and he wasn't wearing socks?
Not really, because I see that sometimes, and I'm just like, okay.
I don't know. The idea. I mean, wearing shoes without socks in general is kind of like, yeah, I kind of get it, but whatever. But boots, especially like rubber boots, it's just like, oh.
So some people, I mean, I guess if it's their shoes, then I mean,
especially if you're like a security guy, like you're gonna be, working hard, sweating and shit. Like I don't know. It just sounds gross.
Yeah. I was more confused
anyway.
by the shoes thing. I was just like that. At first, I was like, "Why is he taking his?" I'm like, "Oh, it's his price."
Yeah.
Who picks these things?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no consistency with these prices at all.
It's just like there's a lottery up there, and it's just like, yeah, this is your price. Does it suck? Yeah. Too bad.
You gotta chew a stick of bubble gum. This guy is your brother. Yeah, you gotta like cut off a body part. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
It would be fun if it was like an ironic thing, like it was like a twist on like something.
Mm-hmm.
But like it just seems to be random.
For some people it kind of is. I mean, like Troy Baker there. Like he's like, oh, I hate cigarettes, but I have to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, it's weird because like there's like ones like that where it's like, oh, that's an interesting idea, but then there's others like I eat dandelions. It's just like, okay,
yeah, he's dandelion. So yeah, then Hay confronts him. And they're like, oh my god, we were made from the same mold because we are so similar personalities, and we both have the same contractor ability.
Yeah, and
he just doesn't
care.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, well, it sucks, because I liked you and all, but you gotta die. So it was like a big chase scene, and Nick, they both try to use their powers on each other at the same time, and apparently they just kind of like cancel each other out.
Yeah, so usually electricity meeting electricity doesn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, so
more electricity.
They just kind of fell backwards a little bit. But Nick has a gun, so he's got that going for him at least. So they end up having a little bit of a chase scene inside the gate, and that's where she gets wacky. Because
wackier.
Yeah, so Hay's hiding, and then he sees a mirage of his sister. So he's like stumbling towards it, like, oh my god, I can't believe it's you. But she's not really there. And then Nick like points the gun at his back. He's right behind him. And it's like a weird thing where like he fires and Hay falls backwards, but he's not shot. And there's like a glowing silhouette where he was standing. And then everything kind of resonates. And everything goes white. They're like in the void. And
yeah, this is where I was
looking,
lost.
Yeah. Nick like turns into a child.
Yeah,
like
I was
I don't know, like a cartoon rocket ship appears, and he shoots off into the sky with his little sister, who we don't see until this point. She's only mentioned. It was super, super bizarre. But again, like, the gates are kind of reality warping, so it's you can kind of get away with it.
There was a point where
it's still super weird.
When I was watching it the first time, because I watched this episode twice because I had to, because of this very reason. I had been drinking, so I was like, did I watch that? So I watched it again. I was like, yeah, that actually happened. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was very bizarre. But ultimately, Nick disappears. His clothes are gone too, which is also weird. Like his clothes are still there, but he's gone. So we don't know because like the sky opened up and it showed the real sky again, and like, so did he like actually shoot up in like a cartoon rocket, or is he just like dead? We don't know.
Sure. I'm sure we'll find out eventually, and if we don't,
We won't.
okay. So he just, as far
He's
as
just
we're
gone.
concerned, he flew up in a cartoon rocket, and that's where he is now.
Yep. Um, and then Hay gets the meteor shard, but like there's all this crazy shit going on. People looking for whatever the fuck is going on out there. And then, surprise, surprise, the head research guy from the Gate research team is just like, "Hey, I also work for the Syndicate. I have an escape route for you here. Get going." And he's like, "Oh, like something about the girl. What's gonna happen with her?" And he's like, she's fine. She'll just keep doing what she's doing." It's like she found what she lost. It's like I feel like this is implied that like she was looking for love, but like didn't really work out for her, did it? Unless she ends up dating Janitor Man. So I mean, that could happen. Who knows?
Maybe. I doubt we'll ever get a follow up on that. So
Nope.
okay. Then she got together with Janitor Man, and they're over
Happily
there
married.
now. They're over
Yes.
there now.
They have some nice. Half of their kids are doctors and half of them are janitors.
They're rocket scientists. They make cartoon rockets that fly into wherever the
Yeah.
fuck.
And then like we got a scene at the end where where Hay is talking to Mao back at his apartment.
Oh, we see
It's like-
old lady again.
Yes, landlord lady makes another appearance just to chase Mao off the property again.
We also see the doll girl real quick too.
Yeah, he gives her a piece of candy. Because
Sure does.
it was one of the things that after the whole rocket ship thing happened, he saw her specter in like a puddle next to him. I think it's supposed to be implied that like her locating him was part of how they were able to get him out. So I guess he gave her a piece of candy for it. I don't know if it's a good trade, but
I don't know. It was like, oh yeah, her. She's still here.
yes, but I think based on how, if I'm remembering right, I think based on how like the ending theme ended up playing and such, I think our opening and ending is going to change next episode.
Damn, I like The Rock.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we'll see.
Me too.
I think we are.
That's
We're
it for that
halfway.
episode.
We're about
Just about,
halfway
yeah.
through now, I believe. Yeah.
Just about. And the next pair of episodes are going to be actually revolving around Water Girl, Yin.
Oh, she's finally getting some character arc.
Yes.
Fun.
So yeah, that's this week's Untitled Dark of the Black segment.
I think what hurt this week to a degree was the fact that the last two segments were so well self-contained and were just so freaking entertaining with how like ridiculous they were. Like actually getting back to the ongoing plot, I was like, oh right, there's actually a point to all this.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Hmm.
Oh, and the very, very last scene of the episode, forgot to mention, we get a random image of a very young girl with long green hair wearing a baseball outfit, just kind of looking out of a window.
Sure, she won't be important.
I'm sure that random girl with long green hair that we don't see her face in the opening theme isn't related to her at all.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just coincidence. Like they just wanted to show a baseball girl or something. I don't know.
Something like that. Sure. Maybe that was Nick's sister. Spoiler, it wasn't.
She's looking for Elton John because this is the origin story where how he became Rocket Man.
Yeah, right.
That's my new headcanon here. Goddamn. Well, that was darker than black for this week. Now we're going to talk about something that might be more insane.
Yeah, depending on which one we're talking about. Yeah.
So we're doing a new thing here. I think for the thumbnail, I was coming up with names, and I think I came up with Nostalgic Film Swap, which is essentially going to be Geek Addicts' version of Anime Swap.
Yeah. somewhere between Anime Swap and like 3 anime films, like somewhere in that region.
Well, it's a similar concept. It's going to be we each pick a film, we watch them. They don't have to be related. They can be, but they don't have to be. And we'll watch them and discuss. It's not like Anime Swap. It's not a pitting them against each other thing. It's just we're picking two films and we'll see how it goes.
And this time we both chose films that the other hadn't seen, so that's fun.
Yeah. So I'm actually really curious. Like my film, I've seen so many times. Like I didn't even have to watch it for this because I just remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So that made my life a little easier. I watched clips mostly more than anything.
That's fair.
Do you want to do Oz first?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So Matt's film he chose was Return to Oz. I'm on the wrong Wikipedia page. The 1985 unofficial sequel to the iconic Wizard of Oz from 1939.
Which ironically was not planned out this way. 2 days ago, at the time of this recording, was the 40th anniversary of this film.
Oh wow.
It was not planned. It just kind of happened. Yeah, this movie, it did not do well. I'll just say that right at the start.
Well,
and from what I've looked into, is the biggest reason for that is they found like modern audiences in the 80s found it to just be too dark.
Well, because it's also like it's
especially because like you go into it, you go on.
What I was going to say is it's such a sharp contrast to the original film, and it's kind of like a bleak kind of like realization that at the end of the first film you're like, oh yeah, shit kind of was fucked.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was going to say. Is that like, people went into it probably thinking like, oh, this is going to be like another fun musical, very whimsical, happy story like Wizard of Oz. Nope, not at all.
It's interesting because apparently retroactively the film is kind of a cult hit because a lot of like fans of the books actually consider this the most accurate depiction of the books.
Can confirm. I haven't personally read them, but we do have like a big compilation book, and my wife has read some of them, and she has confirmed this is definitely the more accurate version.
Which I can see because there's definitely it's not as produced, I'd say, as the original film was in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where like one of the biggest things right off the bat is none of the actors reprised their roles, obviously, because they were all it's just impossible.
Old and or dead.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
Judy Garland is long dead at this point.
Yeah. It's such a funny like contrast where we had in the original film you had 16-year-old Judy Garland as Dorothy, and in this film they had an actual child,
which is like it is supposed to be an actual child in the books.
It's just so funny. I'm watching this not even real thinking about that. I'm like, wasn't Dorothy like a teenager? Like I'm sitting here thinking about that and I'm like, oh right, no, they just had a 16-year-old play a child. That's it.
Yeah. But there are definitely points throughout this movie where what's her name? Firuza Balk. If I'm probably butchering that. Famously the Adam Sandler's love interest in The Waterboy.
Yeah. She later went on to, as Wikipedia said, she was often known for playing girls with a dark edge goth girl persona.
I wonder where that came from.
Good for her.
But there's definitely points where I could definitely see her emulating Judy Garland throughout this movie, like with like line deliveries and such. So like the movie starts just as dark as it ends up being by the end. Yes, the movie does have its goofy points. It's still definitely a very dark film that's supposed to be like for kids.
Yeah, well, back when Disney didn't give a fuck, like back in the day. Also, this is one little gripe I have to say. Nothing about the film. This is just a me problem. Why does Disney Plus's player fucking suck so hard?
Oh, I don't know, and I'm kind of really upset that everything from Hulu is getting shifted to that.
Why are they're using the worst platform, which pisses me off. But I had to delete the
I
app
don't know.
twice to get it to open because it wouldn't open for me. I was like, "Are
Oh,
you
really?
kidding me?" Yeah, like my Disney Plus,
I
it was
haven't
like
had that issue.
glitched. Yeah, I had to reset it 3 times, and I just deleted it off my TV and put it back on. It worked, and I was like, whatever.
So weird. And I'm not going to say that Hulu has no problems either, because I've had plenty of my own problems with Hulu as well. But um, honestly, it's hard for me to really decide which player I like more. I think they're kind of even, but for different reasons. I think when it
Yeah,
comes to rewatching like shows and stuff, I think Disney Plus is better, because Hulu has the bad tendency to, if you've already watched an episode of something, like it'll like do the auto play the next episode, and it'll be like half a minute left of that episode when you move,
yeah.
and then when you go and rewatch that episode later, it'll put you back at that like end credits scene. Like it won't
Uh,
start the episode
yeah.
over. It's very annoying. Um, but yeah, so the movie starts with Dorothy in bed, and she like apparently has had insomnia ever since she got back from Oz. So her mom's gonna take her to a doctor, or her Auntie M is taking her to a doctor, and they're gonna give her shock treatments.
Yeah, it's a face. Don't worry, little girl. And I'm just like, sir.
Yeah, yeah, it's something. Um, and she ends up like
Also,
befriending a little girl there and stuff, and like that's fine. But
and all these actors are sort of symbolic for other fake actors they'll play later in the film.
yeah, well, that's also kind of a carryover from the original
Yeah.
Oz, so it makes sense. And basically, like everyone's just telling her that she's crazy the whole time. Like she's like, "Oh, I went to this place and I met a man of tin, and he cut off his leg, and then he put a tin leg on, and then he cut off the other leg, and it did another tin arm. And it just kept going forever. Like it was just, like she keeps going like all this detail about like all this crazy shit, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, little girl, we're gonna zap the shit out of you so that you stop hallucinating this random shit."
I'm surprised
And you know
they were.
what? Not to jump ahead, but by the end of the movie, it's ambiguous whether or not she's actually crazy.
Well, isn't like Oz supposed to be like a giant like drug reference or something? Or
I mean, I guess it could be, but I mean, the books came out so long ago that like there wasn't like a drug epidemic back then when the books were
true,
written.
true.
By the
I've
time
always
this movie
found
came out, sure, but
yeah, 'cause I've always found Wizard of Oz to be such a weird concept.
it is for sure. It's similar in a lot of ways to say like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh no, that's the
Um,
one I was thinking of, which was like a drug reference.
yeah, but yeah, Wizard of Oz, like, because by the end, just to touch on a couple things here, a lot of stuff that happens in Oz are directly related to things that happened before she went there in this film. Like the robot man she meets, TikTok, is
I
like
hate
the
that his name is TikTok so bad. I'm
but
like,
like
God damn it. Like they wouldn't have known in the 80s, but the whole time I'm just like, he's gonna do the fucking dance. He's gonna do the fucking dance.
um but like he's like a clockwork robot.
Hmm.
But like with the face and the whole, like, because the electroshock therapy machine also had like clockwork components. So like very obviously he's supposed to be a stand-in for that. The little girl gives her a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. She ends up meeting a man with a jack-o'-lantern head. Um, like obviously, like there's the whole thing with like the creepy lady in the nut house. Let's call it what it is. Um,
Yeah.
she's there in Oz. The main villain is the doctor guy. Like so many things. Like even like the Wheeler guys, like they're the orderlies from the doctor's place. So like, and by the end, like she just kind of wakes up on the riverbed, and like really, there's no way to know whether or not she's actually crazy or if she
Yeah.
actually went
She
to
wakes up on the riverbed and they're like, oh yeah, the asylum burned down and that lady's arrested. And it's like, what?
Yeah, it's just it's so bizarre, like the way that like it could just easily be like a mirrorverse kind of situation, but like at the same time she could just be nuts.
Yeah.
And they don't specify which one it is.
Also, the best character in this movie is the Toto stand-in, the fucking chicken. I love the fucking
Oh
chicken.
yeah, the chicken. Yeah,
Just
I love the
smart
chicken.
ass the entire fucking movie.
Well, that's one of my favorite scenes. That was like right when she gets to Oz, and like that weird like eyeball in the rock is reporting to like the big villain guy, the Rock Man.
Gnome King, right? Or
Yeah,
whatever.
the Gnome King. Yeah, and he's reporting to the Gnome King. He's just like, she has
A chicken.
chicken.
I'm gonna say the way that this conflict gets resolved was so fucking stupid.
Oh, it super was. It super is.
I was when that happened, I was like, really? Fucking
Yep.
egg.
Yep.
Because I had
Oh.
forgotten the whole chicken thing by then. I was like, what's the deal with the chicken? And by then I forgot. And I was like, oh yeah, the chicken's in the pumpkin head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. They just died. Cool.
Yeah. To correct me if I'm wrong, but I watched this movie twice, and I feel like at the end, like when they're carting away the lady, like the real world lady, in the carriage, and she's like all locked up, like they specify what she was arrested for?
No. Just take it away.
Because like the scene where like she falls in the river and like they're floating away, and like the lady jumps in the river after them, like she's trying desperately to save them. And I don't know if it's just because like she's trying to keep shit under wraps, or like if she actually cared. But like in the moment, it seemed like she actually cared that the kids were gonna die.
I don't know. The fact that she jumps in and then doesn't even try, like she's just kind of like, I'm in the water now. Like I'm like, okay,
I mean that could just be like an '80s Disney movie,
maybe. I just thought
kind of thing.
that whole scene to me was just like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
I mean, to be fair, you jump in a fucking raging river like that in the kind of dress she was wearing, and you're not gonna be able to do much of anything if you actually go out into the water.
True.
I
I just find it weird that like it swept the two kids away, and then she's just like perfectly fine. And I'm just like, the current was pretty strong.
Maybe her dress was caught on one of those branches.
Maybe.
Either
way.
But,
she was arrested for being there, I guess. I don't know.
for being too extra, maybe. Oh yeah, because the whole scene where like they put her on the gurney, and they're gonna go to like her electroshock therapy, and like they strap her down on the ride there. Like that alone is like super uncomfortable.
Why is this movie so unnecessarily dark, like for an 80s movie?
I know it's what I think it was just during that time where like even family movies were still kind of dark in their own way.
Like the first scene with the wheelies, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, for context, anybody who hasn't seen this movie, the Wheelers are they're basically just men with long limbs, and instead of appendages like hands and feet, they just have wheels. And they have
Yeah.
like helmets on their heads that look like spooky faces. So like
They-
they're facing the ground, so the helmet is facing people as if it's their face.
They look like sleep paralysis demons. Let's be real.
If I'm being honest, because Cindy showed this to me, I could send you it later, but the illustration in the book is creepier.
I can imagine, because it's probably something that they could not do for 80s tech.
Yeah. So yeah, for also like, so she lands, right? And she hops her way out of the deadly desert, because apparently if you touch the sand of the deadly desert, you turn into sand. She gets out there and she notices her old house that got taken away in the tornado. And she sees the like fucked up yellow brick road, and she's like, "Oh no, we gotta go see what happened." And like
Also,
literally 2 seconds later, she's at the Emerald City. I'm like,
yeah.
how did you get there so fast?
Didn't we spend an entire fucking film traveling down this road in the first movie?
It took fucking forever the first time.
Yeah. I was sitting there too. They're like, oh, I guess we're retreading this. I'm like, she's already there. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. By that,
It's just like,
eventually your suspense of disbelief, you're just like, I don't care. Go, sure.
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, also her ruby slippers fell off when she went home the first time. That's important.
Yeah, yeah, and then we get that lovely image of the Gnome King wearing them later, and I'm just like,
Even though they were like super glued to her feet in the first movie, like it was like a thing, like she couldn't take them off.
yeah.
But like now they're just gone.
Well, I mean, the
Um,
canonicity between these two movies is very thin.
dubious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's questionable at best. So
Yeah. So she gets to the Emerald City and she's looking around trying to figure out whatever's going on. The Wheelers show up and they're chasing her around, and they're super creepy all on their own.
also we see
Uh,
the entire cast minus the Scarecrow of the first movie all just turned to stone here.
Yep.
Fucking Tin Man got the fucking downgrade of the century. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, he went from tin to stone. That sucks.
And his design went from being like, obviously it was a human actor in the first movie. In this movie, it's a statue. So
Yeah. Like yeah, that was the other thing is the designs are definitely more geared towards the books. Because the Tin
yeah,
Man and the Scarecrow in particular look very, very different from what we saw in the original.
well, and the lion isn't a
film.
guy in a costume; it's just straight up a lion now. So
Yeah. And the Scarecrow like actually has like a weird like fabric face.
yeah, Scarecrow's design wasn't bad. Like I was like, that's fine.
It worked for what it was.
The Tin Man, though, I was like, A, he doesn't have a line in this movie. He's straight up just his background fodder, but also, I was like, damn, what
But
a down.
the funny thing is, though, is according to IMDb, he had an actor.
He did.
He was played by Deep Roy.
Did he say a line or did I miss it? Maybe in that ending scene?
It could be. He could have been there yelling with everybody else. But anyways, like she gets chased into like pretty much chased into a corner, and there's like a keyhole in the wall. And we didn't mention it earlier, but she found a key when she was still in Kansas.
Yeah, and they were like, no, Dorothy, stop being crazy. It's
She's
just
like,
a
no,
key
this
to the
is
house.
just our old key to the house that got blown away in the tornado. So yeah, she finds the key and she puts it in the wall and opens up the door. And that's where she meets TikTok. And they're like, okay, so well, first of all, TikTok is like one of the best characters.
He is the best character, one of the best characters in the movie with one of the worst fucking like handicaps I've ever seen for a robot.
I kind of like it though. Like I like the concept of just like, oh, like he is super strong and he can take down all the Wheelers and he's very very competent. But if his shit runs down, that's it.
Yeah, it's like
he's not doing nothing.
You have to strategically wind those things up because there's like the scene later on where they're doing their whole escape plan and his brain turns off and he just gets stupid all of a sudden and just he's like, all right, like Jack, tie your ankles together now. And Jack's just like, okay.
It's like an electric guy from My Hero after he zaps too much.
Yeah. It's just like
he just gets dumb.
I was like, what an unfortunate handicap. Like there's so many things that can go wrong depending. And Dorothy always forgets to tighten one of them up, so it's just like something always goes wrong.
Yeah, she's tightening them up one at a time. Like if you were smart, you'd be tightening them all every time.
I mean, voice is
also she only turns it like twice each time. It's just like, why don't you fucking wind it up all the way until it stops?
I mean, the least useful is probably voice. Like he could probably get by without that one, but like, it's sad because I like him as a character.
Yeah. But yeah, they end up getting out of there, and TikTok kicks the shit out of all the Wheelers.
He just does the spinny move like that you can do in like video games, where he's just like, wee.
Yeah, he was just Crash Bandicooting the fuck out of them.
Yeah, he's like, you can't get near me if I'm attacking from all sides at once.
Yeah. But they end up like grabbing one of them and they're questioning him, like, oh, what the fuck happened? Blah, blah, blah. And they end up getting taken to, what the fuck is her name? Mombi, who is like the kind of like impromptu head of the Emerald City in the shitty state it's in. And this is one of the creepiest parts of the movie, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, where it's like when she first appears, like when they first go to visit her, I'm like, you guys are stupid. This is the most obvious villain I've ever seen.
Like, yeah, right.
And then she's got spikes. She has spikes. Like that's just immediately a sign of danger.
It's definitely emulating the like real world version of this character because she had like a super extra dress like that. But like here, it's just like actual spikes. Like
yeah, and then we get to the whole thing where she changes her head depending on what she feels like.
Yeah, she's got a whole hallway and all these little cabinets where she keeps her extra heads, and she's just like gonna swap them out depending on her mood.
Yeah, we get that wonderful moment where we find out that all the heads are, like, where'd she get the heads? Oh yeah, you see the headless ladies outside? Yeah, that's where she got the heads.
Yep, she just kind of snagged a bunch of heads from a bunch of random people. So yeah, ultimately, like they have the whole like she like introduces herself and they're like, "Oh, you're Dorothy. Okay. Well, anyways, you're not leaving. Also, I'm gonna keep you in the tower for a few years until you mature, and then I'm gonna take your head." And then she gets locked into a room where she meets
Jack.
what the fuck is his name? Jack Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Why is every character with a pumpkin for a head or like that kind of thing? It's always, I mean, I guess Jack-o'-lantern, but it can only be done so many times before it starts getting repetitive, you know?
Well, they couldn't use Jack Skeleton because that was already used, and they owned that.
Was it? When did that movie come out?
Actually, that's a good point. It might not have even.
I think Nightmare Before Christmas came out in the 90s.
Yeah, it did. For some reason, this movie feels newer to me. I don't know why.
It could, yeah. This movie does play a lot with claymation as well.
True.
And they use that for like special effects.
It is ironic that Disney owns both of those, though.
Yeah.
We get this plot moment where we find out that the Mombi, depending on which head she is, she doesn't remember the things she does with the certain heads. She just happens to have not worn the head that dropped Jack up there, so she just doesn't remember that he's even there.
There's also this weird like bit that they do with Jack where he calls Dorothy mom.
Yeah, it's supposed to foreshadow, but then the whole time I'm like,
it's still weird. It's still just weird.
Yeah, when we get the eventual reveal to why, I still sit there and go like, they don't look anything alike. Like, what's going on here?
It's still weird. Either way, it's still weird because they're both children.
Yeah, I mean, I get the thing because he's technically a pumpkin stick man that doesn't have a
because they sprinkled the salt of life on him, and that made him alive, which ends up becoming like an important plot point because that's how they escape, essentially.
Yeah.
So, like in the middle of the night, Dorothy gets out and she goes into like the cabinet that has her original head, which is literally just the lady from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And this scene was super creepy because like she gets in, she grabs the like salt of life, whatever the fuck it is, salt of the earth, and she like tips something over barely. It's like the tiniest little tinkle sound, and the eyes shoot open. And like the way that she like yells Dorothy Gale is like super weird and creepy.
Also, the fact that the Mombi just sleeps without a head, and it's like that's lovely.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
And then all the heads start screaming. I'm like, this is so many children probably like had nightmares from this movie back in the day.
It makes sense that it didn't do well at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she runs back, and apparently the big plan is they saw a moose head on the wall, a taxidermy moose head, or whatever the fuck they called it. I don't even remember. It was some Oz moose. And they're going to put it on a sofa and attach some like ferns to the side as wings. And they're going to sprinkle the salt of the earth on them to bring them to life. So I don't know. So we obviously grew up in the same area. Did the moose head remind you of Bugaboo Creek at all? Did you ever eat there?
I don't know. Well, if I did, I was
steakhouse over by like BJ's.
If I did, I was super young because I don't remember it.
Well, they had a talking moose head there, and like I could not think about that whenever that moose head was on the screen.
See, for some reason, I just thought of like the fucking fish that would talk like on the wall. I don't know
It's
why.
similar concept, but yeah, it was just like a weird regional thing for me. I'm sure there are other places that have talking moose heads, but that was all I could think about.
That poor thing is the
So
most tragic character in this movie.
yeah, right.
He
The
gets
last thing
fucking.
I remember is being in the woods and hearing a loud noise, and now I'm here.
It's like, flap your wings. I don't have wings. Oh, I guess I do.
Mm.
Cool. And then the most dark line is the. It's like I'm not sure how much farther I'm gonna make it. I'm not really well put together.
Yeah, right. It's like, ugh, it's pretty rough. They
He
got
gets
to like
ripped. He gets
figure
ripped
something else out
apart
for him.
like 4 times in this movie. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And eaten at one point.
Yeah,
So there was that.
he gets his happy ending though, at least.
Yeah. So yeah, they fly away on the moose couch, and they fly all the way to the mountain where the main villain is, the Gnome King, and they end up inside his lair, and he's like, "Hey, like, you all stole all the emeralds from my mountain, so like this shit is mine. Like, what the fuck?" But he's like, "Hey, so I turned your scarecrow friend into an ornament in my room of treasures. So each of you gets 3 guesses. You pick an ornament, you put your hand on it, you say Oz, and if you fail 3 times, then I'll turn you into an ornament."
Yeah.
And naturally, Dorothy is last. Everybody fails except for her.
Although I did like TikTok's whole like scheme that he had there.
Probably should have done it before he had only 1 guess left, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, why did he wait that long? I don't know.
Maybe his thinking ran down. Who knows? So ultimately, they all fail, and then it's just Dorothy, and she's about to use her last guess on like this random little like action figure guy, until she sees like an emerald, and she's like, "Oh, fuck it, I'll do it with this one."
It's green.
And it turns into the Scarecrow.
Yeah, and I love the fact
Yeah.
too that the whole time the gnome kid's like, she won't do it. And then she does, he's like, fuck. Like shit.
Yeah, like the second she figures out the secret to it, he's like, "Well, fuck the deal. I'm just gonna eat all of you."
That scene with all the stone figures, I was like, I'm like, this is a scene that would have probably like ruined the childhoods of many.
Yeah. Also, did you find it unsettling when he like whipped out the ruby slippers? He's just like, "Hey, I got these slippers on."
Yeah, that was something that like nowadays, like I don't know how they would handle
It was
that.
just super weird and like unsettling to see. I don't know why. It was just strange. Maybe
The
it's
way
just
they
because I associate them with Judy Garland, so them being on anyone other than Judy Garland. But then especially, it's like a stone golem just
yeah.
wearing ruby slippers. It's just weird looking.
It's one of those things that like nowadays probably would be more like normal, but then it was probably like, what the fuck? Like,
No, for sure, for sure. But yeah, so he eats the moose couch because he's just had enough, and then
the poor
he
moose
goes
couch.
he goes to eat Jack, not knowing that the chicken that Dorothy brought with her is inside Jack's pumpkin head. So, like, as he's about to eat Jack, the chicken lays an egg, and the egg drops into the Gnome King's mouth. And he's like, "Eggs are poison." And then he just dies.
Yeah. Like they're trying to make it like this whole like it's like you killed me kind of thing, and I'm like, no one cares. Like you were a dick.
Yeah. And it's just like, "Don't you know? Chickens are bad."
And then everyone dies, and I'm just like,
Okay.
my entire thoughts. I was like this was the most anticlimactic ending I've ever seen.
Yep. It's pretty up there.
Then she taps her
But,
heels together, and they go go back to the future.
yep. She uses the ruby slippers again, and
Oh,
everyone's happy.
and then the last like fucking pulled this fucking out of their ass. Like, we lost TikTok. It's so sad. And they're like, but I have this thing on me right here. that just
And it's
conveniently ended up here. Say the line, Dorothy. And I'm just like that's
like, okay.
I'm glad TikTok lived, but my God, that was contrived as fuck.
Yeah, it's the only one who wasn't turned back before that all happened. But
Well, I thought it was gonna be this heartbreaking scene where they kill the best character, and I was like, no, of course he's not gonna die.
yeah.
It's just the way they did it. I was like, come on.
Oh, I'm not sure. Because we do see when they're doing the whole like celebration at the end, we see that all the ladies got their heads back.
Yeah, because it shows when the city gets revived, they get their heads just to reappear.
Maybe you know what it is because it wasn't like I like no place like home thing. She clicked her heels and was just like reverse every bad thing that happened since I left,
Yeah.
and everybody turns to normal.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
And
okay,
TikTok's all shiny and new now.
yeah, right. Get a C-3PO transformation. And then she goes home, and it's like, hooray! The hospital burned down, and the doctor's dead, and the lady's getting arrested. And
Yeah, she
and
goes
Toto
home.
found you.
She goes home and she's immediately dumped in the middle of like this like shithole. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, she's literally like washed up on the side of the riverbed that she got swept away in the first place. Which again, like, leaves it very ambiguous whether or not she was actually in Oz or whether Oz is actually all just in her head and she's actually crazy.
yeah, yeah. Um, this was a movie.
It sure is. And it's still one I like to come back to from time to time because it is entertaining.
It's entertaining, but I feel like it's entertaining for the wrong reasons.
True. That's kind of most 80s movies in general, though.
You know what blew my mind? I was just looking at the box office performance for this movie. So this movie made 11.1 million at a $28 million budget, which that's bad. Like that's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
What's even crazier though is when you realize the original film had a budget of 2.8 million. I mean, granted, yeah, 30s money was a lot different than 80s money, but still, that's like, ooh.
I still think a lot of the effects in this movie do hold up, though.
They do to a degree. It's weird. Like the effects are nice, but some of the sets are like not as great. Like the Yellow Brick Road, I'm like, they just threw a bunch of shit on the ground and called it a day.
Yeah. Looks like they lost a lot of their luster. I think the yellow bricks got sun damage because they were very faded.
It looks like they just painted a bunch of bricks yellow and just tossed them on the ground. I was like, that's great.
Pretty much.
Also, what happened to that big fancy, like swirly, like the red brick road that we never get any follow up on? Like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Where's all that shit?
No, I don't know. And even she was like, "Hey, where's all the Munchkins?" Like, yeah, where are all the Munchkins? That's never addressed.
And how did all that shit get destroyed, but the house is perfectly fine?
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't
So
know.
apparently they just left it there as like a monument. And she's like, "Hey,
it's the grave for the Wicked Witch of the East."
Yeah, that's just her headstone. But yeah, I mean, all told, like, I don't think it's a bad. I understand why it did poorly when it was made, but I don't think it's a bad movie at all.
No, it's not bad. It's just, it's one of those movies that screams its era.
Oh yeah, it's super 80s fantasy movie.
Like
vibes, for sure.
It's not a timeless film like a lot of movies are.
No, it's definitely a time capsule for sure.
Yeah. Like the Wizard of Oz, the original, that's a timeless film. This, not so much.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's Return to Oz.
I think I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, 3 out of 5. Like it's a very in the middle kind of film.
Mm-hmm.
I get the cult following aspect to it.
My cousin, who I'm very close in age with, this is a movie that she brought out a lot. So naturally, I was over their house a lot, so I ended up watching it a lot. And not gonna lie, it kind of freaked me out as a kid, which
understandable.
makes sense.
It's
But
crazy
like
that
watching it now, it's still a fun one to come back to.
it's really crazy when you think this was 85 and it only through 3 more years we'd get Akira.
Yeah.
The other movie that ruined the childhoods of many, but that one was more just because stores were stupid. And
When did Grave of the Fireflies come out?
that was in the 80s too. Grave of the Fireflies, 1988, same year as Akira.
Okay. Yeah. So
See, that's a bleak movie. Like that's a movie that kids probably wouldn't get the same way.
mhm.
That's a movie that fucks with adults, I think, more than children.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think it's time
I
we should move on to our second movie.
Oh yes, our second movie, the another cult classic in a way, although this one made its money back. We're talking about Starship Troopers, the 1997 science fiction film based off the 1959 novel of the same name, although they are the novel and the movie are two very different things. Well, I'll put that there. The
Fair enough.
novel, the film is very much a social commentary, kind of like parody film. Like there's a lot of this is a very deep film in a lot of ways,
Mhm.
despite being kind of comedic.
Yeah, I sense that a lot of the time, especially with like the propaganda scenes.
Yeah, you can tell that the people making this film had things to say. Like
Mhm.
there was a message trying to be brought out here, which is why it's the exact opposite of the book itself, because the book itself is a much different experience. I've read the book and it's yeah, they're different things. The book is its own rabbit hole. The movie is is very interesting. Like it's definitely a cult film now. It's considered it's like a satire of fat I can't talk fascism. That's like the
Mhm.
big thing here.
For sure.
And it stars a lot of pretty well-known actors for the time, like Denise
Yeah.
Richards, Neil Patrick Harris, Casper Van Dyne. Like that's the only thing he's really known for these days.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So where do we begin
So,
with Starship
there's a couple
Troopers?
other ones I noticed too. What was it? Hang on.
Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown's in
Yeah,
here.
Clancy Brown. Yeah, he was a big one.
Michael
Who the
Ironside.
hell was that? That like commanding officer guy. I don't know if they ever named him, but I knew the actor. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Dean Norris, I think.
Um, yeah, Dean Norris was in here.
And then I don't know if you caught this, but what's her name? Is it Carmen? Is that her name?
Carmen
Yeah,
is the one played by Denise Richards. Dizzy was Dina Meyer.
yeah. So Carmen's friend in pilot school there, who like she had a couple little brief scenes with, and like we would see her like on the same bridge or whatever ship they were flying.
Mm.
She's the like co-commander of the Orville,
Oh,
like Seth
interesting.
MacFarlane's ex-wife in that show.
Oh, that's interesting. What's her name now? This is gonna bother me.
I don't remember her name.
She's not listed in yeah, she's not listed in the main cast, so it's more of a kind of looking through the side things.
Yeah. One sec. Adrienne Palicki.
Oh. Oh yeah, she's not even like listed in the primary, even in the secondary cast.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very bit role. Like I just happened to notice her because she was next to one of the main people.
Mm.
But yeah,
So
this is a very interesting film.
it is, and it's kind of it's a film that makes you think about a lot of things. So like the basic premise is they're at war with like this like alien race of like bugs,
Mhm.
and the entire
Very Ender's Game.
yeah, and the Earth is now like united. It's like one united nation, and to gain
It sure ain't the
citizen,
Federation, though.
yeah,
It
no,
sure ain't the
no,
Federation.
no. In this world now, to gain citizenship, you have to join the military, basically, and it's like kind of fucked up in that way. Um,
Yeah.
so the main character of this film is Johnny Rico, and he's kind of pathetic at the start of this movie.
Yeah, he's super simps over his girlfriend, like super whipped.
He gets cucked like in the first half of the movie.
Oh, big time! Like when they're playing space football,
Oh
and
yeah,
like his like rival there like lands in front of her and like starts flirting with her in the game.
yeah. I was like, you see where this is going. So she joins the military, and then he says, "All right, I'll join too because you're joining." Um, but he goes for the infantry rather than the command thing.
But it's more like that's the only thing he was qualified for.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's not
And
smart enough to get anywhere else.
there's also this whole like subplot about like, well, he's like obsessed with her. You got Dizzy in the background who's obsessed with him, but he doesn't notice her. Like it's one of those fucking plots.
Mhm.
Fun fact: in the novel, Dizzy was a man and dies on the first page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. How different they are.
That's ironic because
Yeah,
she is definitely best girl. So
first titties I ever saw. Anyways, it's the one thing from this goddamn movie most people remember. Um, yeah, so he ends up basically barely getting through the thing. Like, there's an entire subplot where like they're in like a training, like exercise, like a live fire training exercise, and one of he's given like temporary like leadership role, and then one of the people gets killed because they took their helmet off and the thing. It's a whole dark scene. But then he finds
yeah.
out his girlfriend's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving you. Bye." It's just like,
Well, no, that I think that was part of the reason why that whole helmet scene happened was she broke up with him and that like fucked him up.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was like, why am I even doing this kind of thing? And then he, did the whole helmet thing, and that dude got like brutally just fucking plastered in the face.
Yeah. I love how he calls medic, and I'm just like sitting here going, like, yeah, medic ain't gonna help that
Yeah,
guy.
he's
Bud.
dead, dude. Like I don't know what you're thinking, but
There's brain matter everywhere, right there.
yeah, he's
Um,
done. But
yeah, there's like certain scenes in this movie that are very, very striking. Like one to me right at the start is when he's going into like the military initiation, and he goes to the guy at the desk, and the guy's like, infantry. Boy, the infantry made me the man I am today. And then it goes around the desk, and he's like missing legs and like an arm, and it's like, oh, great.
I see what you mean, sir.
Well, in the book, the book made it more like that was supposed to be like the first test, like because that's how they would scare off a lot of the people who weren't going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But what's crazy is like eventually after like that whole thing happens, Rico's like, "Yeah, I'm dropping out. I'm done with this. Everything I care about is over."
Mm-hmm.
But before that, there's a scene where Carmen's up in space, and they end up hitting a meteorite that starts heading towards Earth. I'm sure that won't be important later.
No. Also, I'm just
So
gonna throw this out there, like the second, because like obviously they set it up super early, but the second I knew she was gonna break up with him and like start banging the other dude was like the whole like, oh, should I call you sir? I was like, yeah, they're gonna fuck. They're definitely gonna fuck. Like, there's no way.
yep. What happens to him later is so satisfying. But anyways, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, right.
Um.
Fuck that
So
guy.
yeah. So we go
And
back
fuck her,
to
honestly.
yeah. She doesn't deserve the ending that she gets in this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
Um.
no, she does not. Best
But
friend got cheated.
yeah, we'll get to that scene. But yeah. So that he's dropping out, and there's a whole thing where he's talking to his parents back in. I think they're from Buenos Aires. I think that's the.
Yeah, I think so.
And during the call, he's like, "Oh, we're getting some static here," and the call cuts, and we find out that meteor from space hit Buenos Aires and killed his family. In the book, I think his dad survives, but like that's like I said, the book's like an entire different beast in itself.
Yeah.
So by that point, then Johnny's like, "Fuck, I have nothing. I might as well just go to join the military at this point.
Hmm.
So they have their first like big attack. They're going after like they're basically retaliating against the bugs. And we get the first real moment where you realize, holy shit, this is like the most like one-sided war ever.
Yeah.
Because like
For
all
sure.
these people go into the fight and they just get fucking wrecked. Like the warrior bugs like do not give a shit.
Including Johnny. Like he gets fucking wrecked too.
Johnny's is like kind of badass though, because he does not like back down, and like the way he gets like taken out is kind of fucked up too, because like that bug is straight up dead, and then it just like last second flinches and gets him in the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And he's still taking down bugs, like just
yeah,
stuck there. Like he can't walk, he can't move, but he's just blasting away.
and we get that lovely scene next where like, so it's after the thing. The mission was kind of a failure, but they're back in the thing, and he's in the that healing tank, like the classic like sci-fi, like it was in Star Wars, it was in everything, like the healing tank where there's
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, yeah. Where we get that lovely image of the robot sewing his leg back together up close. I'm like, that's fun.
Yep.
But I love Dizzy and his friends are like, Rico, you're dead.
Yeah, they're holding up his like death certificate. Like, look, you're dead. I love that scene. It was great.
That is an important plot because at this point, Carmen also thinks he's dead. So that like completely cuts off any of her caring at this point moving forward.
Yeah. Oh, also, I don't know if we mentioned it, but is it Gary Busey's brother? Is it one? It's one of the Buseys. Is the main character in this movie?
Jack Busey. Yep.
Yeah. You can tell as soon as you see the teeth, you're like, you're a Busey. I can tell.
Yeah, he's one of the infantrymen.
Yep.
But yeah. So now we get to
survive.
Yes, actually, one of the better characters too.
Yeah.
But sure. Eventually, we get to their next unit where it's we finally meet Mr. Krabs himself, Sergeant Zim.
Yep.
Who we find out was actually, I believe, one of his teachers back in like the academy who joined the military.
Oh no, that was a different guy. Mr. Krabs was their drill sergeant. The other guy.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But
you gotta say that was the moment. That was the moment for me when Best Girl became Best Girl when she squared up with Clancy Brown. I'm like, all right, I like you. You're good.
It's so weird seeing Clancy Brown like in live action because you're so used to him as a voice actor for all these years. So it's like, God damn, he can act like no matter what.
I get what you're saying, but I have seen him in enough live action stuff where it's not that weird for me. But I do still hear Mr. Krabs.
See, I grew up with him as like Dr. Cortex and like Mr. Krabs and stuff.
Yeah, because I saw him because he was in the Flash series, and he's almost always a military guy in every fucking live action thing he does.
He's got that voice, like he has the voice for it,
for sure. I like not to jump ahead, but I love the ending with him. It's amazing.
But yeah, they get to their whole new unit and like the Roughnecks. And this is where Rico really starts to shine, like as it, like they have their whole thing. But the next bug attack is one of like the most fucking insane in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the mix of the fucking flying bugs and the fucking like plasma bug that just shoots fucking lava everywhere.
Yeah, the second I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, it just breathes liquid fire.
Yeah, that's like holy shit.
Yeah, that's pretty dark.
Yeah, because like that whole scene, like where like they're on top of the base and like the floor caves in below, and that's how the commander ends up dying.
Yeah, that because man, Johnny just keeps rising through the ranks, but only because the commanding officers keep dying.
Well, it's funny because his commanding officer just gives him command, and it's like, yeah, that's how that works in the military.
Well, to be fair, I think he would have given it to him regardless.
Well, yeah, because he was like just he was moving up. Like he very much had that military edge to him. Yeah,
for sure. Especially by the time like he was a seasoned vet, like he was definitely going to end up in a high position in the infantry.
Yeah. So then they become Rico's Roughnecks, and we get the most iconic scene in the movie.
What, when they hook up?
We get the titty scene.
Well, one of them. Well, the shower scene earlier in the film.
Well, the shower scene, that one's less interesting.
Also, the co-ed showers, like that's
Yeah, that's military, I guess.
Even with the military, I still feel like that's.
It's weird how I never questioned that as a kid about the bed scene. I was always like, "What?" Well, because the scene in the camp, the reason why that one sticks with me is because I always remember watching this with my dad as a kid, and my dad always be like, "Cover your eyes, you can't see this," and I'm just like, "No, I want to see it."
I love the scene where like they're like starting to hook up, and then the commanding officer comes in, and he's just like, "Rico, you need to be so and so in 10 minutes. Stuff's happening." He's like, "Who do you have with you?" And like she shows her face, and she's like, "Make that 20 minutes."
Yeah, just being it's such a stupid scene.
He's just like, "Yeah, you get the quickie in, and then let's go. We got shit to do."
Yeah. But then, of course, we also get the next scene, which is the most tragic, where they have the next bug fight, and Diz doesn't make it.
Yeah. And then who is the pilots that end up picking them up?
Of course. See, that scene, what makes that scene so tragic, though, is the fact that she has that epic moment where she takes out that plasma bug, like right there. It's like, hell yeah. And then the fucking warrior bug shows up out of nowhere and just gets her right through the fucking heart. It's like, great.
Yeah. Fucked her up. Like, Jesus Christ. That was a brutal death, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, most of the deaths in this movie are brutal.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the fucking commander's death is the most because his like legs got eaten off in the fucking pit, and then he fucking just like suicide bombs his way out of there, basically.
I love like the scene like before that when they're at like the little celebratory party that they were having,
Yeah,
and like Dizzy, is that her name?
Dizzy. Yeah,
Yeah, she's like, "All right, come dance with me," blah blah blah. And he's like, "Do I have to put rank on you?" Like, there's a whole like tough guy, like, "No, I refuse," even though my relationship ended forever ago. And then like the commanding officer, who was also his teacher, was like, "Hey, like, remember that one time you asked me for advice? Well, I'm gonna give you some now. Don't pass up a good thing." He's just like,
yeah.
"All right, fine, I'll sleep with her."
He's like, all right, okay.
I gotta
But
say,
then,
I'm a little pissed off a little bit at him, at Johnny there, because like he did the whole like thing with his ex when they were still together. He's just like, "Oh, say it once, try it on for size. Like, tell me you love me." But then like Dizzy tells him that she loves him, but he never says it back, even as she's dying.
yeah, Johnny's not a great character.
She deserved to. She deserved to hear it once before she went. Fucked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So then, of course, after they get picked up, we get the sci-fi tradition of the death in space scene,
Hmm.
which I've seen in so many movies over the years. Like, because I mean, Star Trek 3 or 2 is probably the most iconic one, but Spock.
Yeah.
They did it in Battlestar Galactica, like just the coffin in space.
Yep.
Although in like other ones, it's kind of an epic thing. Dizzy's like she goes out the door and just floats away. It's like,
Yep.
okay,
Like,
bye.
goodbye.
Um,
Then no Patrick Harris finally comes back because it turns out like he's not. Because I came into this knowing he was in this movie, which for the just for context, the first time I became aware of this movie and the fact that Neil Patrick Harris was in it was because of Harold and Kumar, because they reference it in that because Neil
yeah,
Patrick Harris plays himself in those movies,
yeah.
and I was expecting him to have a bigger role.
He has a fairly significant role, but it's not a major role by any means.
Like he's important to the plot, but he's not present in the story for like the vast majority of it.
Yeah, it's funny because he has like the most iconic line in the film, but it's literally not until the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I'd say the "Do you want to live forever" thing is more iconic personally because I heard that long before I had seen the movie.
that line's iconic too. I always remember we'll get to it later line, but so the next thing is like they're up in space and what was the ship? Oh yeah, the ship's name was the Roger Young, which apparently is an actual real soldier, because they named all the ships after real people. But
Okay.
that the ship gets basically destroyed by a plasma shot that like cuts it in half, and that's how
Yeah. A lot of the
Carmen
ships
and
got destroyed.
oh yeah, but that one was significant because that's how Carmen and what's his face end up on
Xander.
the Xander. They end up on that
Which
planet.
bothered me on another level, honestly, because
Yeah, I didn't even think of that watching this.
I was just like, I don't want to hate him just because of the name, but at the same time, I do hate him.
Yeah. Also, that the poor girl that gets fucking doored in half like during that scene.
That was the captain, wasn't it?
Yeah, like she just
Yeah.
gets straight up like oh yeah, she ain't living that one.
Nope.
There are brutal fucking deaths in this movie. Like holy shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But the place they end up crashing right into the den of the brain bug. One of the most what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the giant ball sack with the fucking stinger.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The brain bug is literally a giant brain. And the whole thing, its whole gimmick is it captures creatures and just sucks their brains out.
Like literally, like it had like a fucking literally like cells stinger.
Yeah.
It just jabs it into their brain and just sucks their brains out.
That scene as a kid was so fucking like gross. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, especially when it does it to Xander, because like he like hollows him out, like he gets super gaunt looking as he's doing it. Like it was super creepy.
Oh yeah, like that whole scene. The whole time you're like, yeah, fuck this guy, but at the same time you're like, ew.
Yeah, for sure.
But of course they have the final encounter where they go in to stop the brain bug because of course Johnny's got to save Carmen because they have whatever.
Yeah.
I do love the scene though where she cuts the fucking like stinger off and the thing. It's like basically like the thing without that. It's like completely pathetic at that point.
Yep.
Like
anyone with a fucking big enough knife could just kill it at that point.
Yeah. So eventually they Rico goes in and rescues her, and then of course as they're finishing up the battle, you hear all the people are like, "We've caught the brain bug," and they're dragging it out. Like they literally have it roped up, and they're just pulling it.
Yeah,
and,
they got fucking lassoed the bitch.
And then we get the iconic line of Neil Patrick Harris's character goes up and touches the forehead, and he's like, "It's afraid."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because the second they cut its stinger off, the thing freaked the fuck out because it was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, it's my only weapon.
Imagine being the brain bug though, because that thing is like has like centuries worth of knowledge probably, but it's like pathetic when you really think about it.
And then we didn't touch on like the setup for this because like back when war first broke out, Clancy Brown was like, I want to jump in. I want to be in the war. And the commanding officer guy was like, yeah, no, you're not. You're staying as drill sergeant unless you want to be demoted to private.
Yeah, and he gets demoted to private for the fight, which is crazy.
Yeah, and he ends up being the one who captured the brain bug.
It was a pretty epic scene, to be honest.
It was. So Clancy Brown was the hero in the end, and as he should be.
Yeah, because Johnny Rico had to save the girl that was probably going to. I think in the sequels, she does leave him again too, because there are sequels to this.
Oh, there's sequels?
The second movie is god awful. The third movie is slightly better, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm not really interested, to be honest.
No, I would not bother. The second, because the second movie came out years later, and it is garbage. Like it is such a bad movie. The only
she kind of has a bad history of fucking around anyway. So like,
yeah.
So even though it is kind of like assumed at the end that they probably got back together, I'm like, but why though? But why? Why would you want to at that point?
Yeah, and Rico's not the brightest.
I don't know.
His decision, he kind of lucks into most of his like things that happen to him in this movie.
Well, again, all the promotions he gets are just because he happened to be present when his commanding officer died.
Like, yeah.
Like, oh, that guy died. Hey, you got the job.
I still think one of the most disturbing scenes in this movie is right at the end where they're like, because you know how they do the little film reels all the time, like little propaganda segments?
Yeah.
Like, you get that one. Yeah, do you want to know more? I love that one right at the end where they're like talking about what they're doing with the brain bug, and they have this giant spear they're about to shove in its face. I'm like,
censored.
Yeah, I was like, God damn. Oh yeah, because they have that scene too where they have like the chicken in the room with the fucking warrior bug, and it's just like censored. We're not going to show you what happens here.
Yeah. Oh no, wasn't it a cow?
Oh yeah, it was a cow. Yeah, I was like, it's like, God damn.
The intestines flying off in different directions and shit. Yeah.
fucking. It's weird how this movie is more comedic than it should be. In all honesty,
It really is, especially with how fucking brutal it is at times. Like it does not hold back at all.
it's crazy how like you could look at a gory movie like this and it just doesn't affect you in the slightest. But then I watch Akira and that fucking stays with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
It's crazy. It's just crazy how things are like that. But yeah, the movie ends there, and it's like it's weird because like structurally, I don't think it's a great, well put together movie, but like as like a movie itself overall, it's a fun time, and I do enjoy it.
See, honestly, I think the structure works for it because like the first half of the movie is like pre-war, and then the second half is like balls deep in the war, and like by the end of the movie, the war's not over. Like the war still
No,
has plenty to go, but like they've achieved like what they need to like gain the information they need to, you know, essentially gain the advantage.
yeah, it's maybe structure is not the right word. It's more just like it's like I think the pacing's the weird part of this movie because it like flies through events like left and right.
Oh, for sure. Like, because I watched this movie twice in preparation for this. The first time, I was like, I was along for the ride. It was fun. It was a fun movie.
Mm.
And the second time I went through it, it was like, oh, the war doesn't happen until like halfway through. Like, I could have sworn we spent a lot more time with like the war stuff.
Yeah, because it gets triggered with that meteorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's weird. Like the sense of time in this movie is like the weirdest part because like time flows really fast at points and then really slow at points. Like because there's like points where like you'll go from one scene to the other. It's like, oh yeah, like a couple of like months has gone by here, and it's like, oh, when did that happen?
I think that's just the thing with movies at the time because like
Yeah,
they don't. I've noticed a lot of movies around this period, like the mid '90s to the mid 2000s. Like whenever there's a story that takes place over like a decent amount of time, like especially in movie format, they don't do a good job of conveying how much time has passed.
mm,
Like what going from one scene to another scene, you think like, oh, this happened like the next day, but like no, this was actually like 6 months later.
yeah, yeah. What's really funny too is like so like just some like little trivia for this movie. The the suits that all the soldiers wear, like the helmets and like the armor like
Yeah.
uniforms. Those suits would be reused in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Huh.
Because there is a scene because Lost Galaxy was also a space opera. And there's a scene in like the first episode where they're on like a planet fighting against this alien race and they send out the infantry and they're all wearing the Starship Troopers uniforms. And I'm like, they must have been on sale at the budget. They must have been a budget purchase because
So
Saban, the company that did Power Rangers, was notoriously cheap. It's
but
just
that
really
didn't show. That didn't show in the series at all.
well, I mean, half of it's just Japanese footage. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's funny like that. Like obviously the sequel. So there's like 5 sequels now, I think.
That's
2 of them are
insane to me.
well, most of them came out years after the first movie. Like 2 and 3 are live action. 3 apparently is okay, but 2 is god awful. Then there's 2 CGI animated ones that came out like years later. And then there was the only spin-off thing that's actually worth watching is there was a CGI TV series in the 90s called Roughnecks, which was kind of it followed just around the Roughnecks group with like Rico and everybody. I think you can find it online. It's like the only other thing that's decent from this franchise, in all honesty.
Fair enough. Yeah, no,
But
I honestly don't have any desire to watch past this
no,
movie.
it's not worth it. In all honesty,
I feel like it wraps up pretty neatly, even though I'm not crazy about how things end with like kind of the assumption that they get back together at the end. It's just,
yeah.
She ain't worth it. She ain't worth it.
No, no, Charlie Sheen can have her.
Yeah.
That didn't end well either. But yeah, anyways, two very interesting films. That's, I guess,
Yeah,
the best.
for sure.
Uh,
For sure. It was a good pair to start with, though. I think.
they couldn't be any different, but at the same time, they're both like such products of their time.
For sure. Yeah. I was thinking maybe the next time we do this, maybe the next time we'll do animated films.
Yeah, we could do that.
You know, just kind of like flip back and forth, kind of how we're doing with the superhero thing.
Hmm.
Because I feel like there's definitely plenty between both mediums where we could. And I feel like this one worked out very well this first time, whereas neither of us had seen the other's movie.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen every time.
No, but you never know. We'll see how that goes in the future.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think that's good enough. Just under 2 hours. That's not bad. But yeah, so once again, guys, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That's superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find all sorts of different shows, videos, blogs. Currently playing Bubsy 3D for the game club. It's going well. Best way to put it. Yeah, so come join us over there, and it's a good time. Come see all the fun characters at the network. I'm like half asleep, so I'm rambling now, but that's all right. Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.